Hey, hey. Oh my gosh, I have so missed having our daily dose of sweetness. I mean, totally missed it. I can't even believe that I'm saying those words, but I really did miss it. Like, I couldn't wait to get back home from vacation to be able to really dig in and hear from God and really do the things that He's been telling me to do. And when I say He's been like downloading, giving me all of these like revelations, it's been crazy. So thank you for joining in. I hope that I didn't lose the attention of anyone. While I was away on vacation in Costa Rica, it was amazing, absolutely beautiful. Had a wonderful time. As you can see, I got some of that black girl magic hair growth while I was on vacation. Come back and coming back with a bit of a different hairstyle, but you know, still cute though. Okay, so today I want to talk about, let's just jump on in. I want to talk about selfishness and being selfish and how we as human beings are innately selfish creatures. Um, we have a self centered society, we have a self centered mentality. We tend to think a lot about the self. And not that it's always a bad thing to be selfish, because there are times in life and in situations and in relationships and circumstances where you do need to be a little selfish. But then there are also times when it is not okay. It's not okay to live selfishly and put your needs and all that you have going on above everybody else. And I am guilty of that. I have lived selfishly. I have been in relationships where I was selfish, and I didn't know it at the time. I wasn't intentionally trying to be that way, but it just, that's how things panned out. Um, I have had many opportunities over the years to really reflect and kind of look at myself and think through just some of the things that I've been through, and like, could it have been avoided? Could I have, done things better? Could I have handled things in a different way? Absolutely. We all have those peripheral, rear view mirror kind of moments where you're like, oh yeah, that, I could have done that a lot better now that you've gotten to the other side. Um, and with these daily doses, I've been hearing from God. And the very first daily dose was to show up for you. The first daily dose was do it for you, and you matter too, which all of that is absolutely 100% true. You do matter. We matter. The individual self matters. Our own mental health and spiritual wellness, those things matter. But it can't surpass what we as God's creation are called to do and called to be. And first and foremost, we are called to love. God was the perfect example of a selfless love. And so, us being His creation, we must also love the same way He does. And it is impossible to say, I truly love my neighbor, but I ain't giving him none of my bread because this is mine. Those two philosophies can't live in the same dwelling. They can't coexist. You either love, in which case you are sharing, you are giving, you are humble, you are thinking above your own needs, and looking for the higher purpose, the bigger picture, the higher cause. Um, and ultimately, in doing that, in doing those things, you are showing up for you, because you're showing up for the God that lives in you. You're showing up for He that is in me, that is greater than the He that is in the world. So you're still showing up for you, even when you are considering your neighbor, your friend, your brother, your sister, your co-worker, your spouse, your children. You're still considering yourself in the midst of that. And so I was asking God, okay, so how do I, like, how do we do this? Like, how do we focus on self and being present in the moment and showing up for ourselves, but also don't be selfish with it. Like, don't do it too much. Um, and he gave me a couple of things, and I promise you guys, I don't know what is happening with the world today, but the Lord sent me to the Bible, like the actual book, like, like, like the whole book. Even got notes and everything. Don't know why. Can't explain why, but it is what it is, and I'm just being obedient. So this don't even feel right. Like I'm leading Bible study or something. I don't want to lead nobody's Bible study. I promise you, I do not want that. I'm not about that life. Love the Lord with all my soul, but don't ask me to get up and teach nobody about it. Nope. So anyway, all that, I done lost my train of thought. Okay, so he took me to a couple of things. One was that anything that's done in excess is sinful, or can become sinful in its nature. And he took me to the verse in the Bible. I believe it was either Galatians or Ephesians. Let me check. Hold up real quick while I flip through these pages of this Bible and try to find the chapter that I'm looking for. It's Ephesians, not Ecclesiastes. Okay, Ephesians. I'm fronting like I know exactly where Ephesians is, because honestly, I don't know where it is. So, give me a sec. And I feel like they're right near each other. I mean, I know a little something. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, Bible rookie. I've been in this in this here book for most of my years. I just I don't qualify myself as being one capable of teaching it to somebody else. But here we are. So, let the Lord use you. As they say, let him use you. Okay, yes, I was right. So Galatians and Ephesians are right next to each other. See, I know a little something. Discipleship paid off. Whoop whoop. Hashtag redeem. Okay, so Galatians 5. Let me see, which one was that? Galatians 5 says what? Okay, so Galatians 5 and 13. So he took me here, which says, you, my brothers, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge in sinful nature. Rather, serve one another in love. And so that, basically says what I just said a couple of minutes ago, is that It's okay to choose you, to show up for you, and to think about your best interests. It's okay to set boundaries and, to focus on what matters to you and protecting your peace. All of those things are incredibly important. But when those things trump what we are truly called to do, which is to love our neighbor, then it can become a sinful nature. And so we are specifically told that uh, we must not use our freedom of choice, our freedom of time, our freedom of attention, our freedom of flexibility. We must not overindulge in those freedoms and turn that thing into something that could be considered sinful. So then, if we go over to Ephesians, I think this was the one about the honey. Okay, Ephesians 4:2. Nope, not the honey one, but still. So Ephesians 4:2 says, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. And so, if you think about the word selfishness or being selfish, it immediately invokes some sort of negative connotation because it implies that you are the only thing that matters, or that your needs are the only thing that matters, or that your point of view is the only thing that matters. And if we are thinking like that, then we are contradicting what God has already told us to do and to be. He told us to be humble and gentle, to be patient and bearing of one another in love. We are called to be like Jesus. Jesus wasn't selfish. He literally gave it all for us, like all of it. Like he gave his whole life just for us. That is the ultimate act of selflessness, not selfishness. And so we have to remember that as creations, as creatures that have been created by the creator of all things, that we were made in his perfect and divine image. But he also gave us the freedom and the power to choose. And so he wants us to make the choice of what is good, what is right, what is righteous, what is holy, what all of those things that will edify and glorify his name. And being selfish is not one of them. Taking things for granted is not one of them. But overindulging in the things that you believe are for you and bring you joy and excluding all others, that is not good either. So we have to be balanced. We have to acknowledge and recognize when I need to step away and be in my own space and my own time to think things through, and when we need to put ourselves on the shelf and be there for someone else. We have to learn how to decipher when is it the appropriate time for me to show up for my neighbor, or to allow my neighbor to show up for me. So let's see. The last thing he told me was Mark 12. Now I think I can find Mark. I hope I can find Mark. Goodness gracious. Okie dokie. Maybe I can't find Mark. Hold on. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay, I know all of them in a row. Just where y'all at? This is all New Testament. New Testament. Okay. All right. Come on, girl. Okay, I found John. Okay, Matthew. Okay, Mark is right around the corner. Hold on. Mark is coming up. Mark. Here we come. Mark's on set. Okay, Mark what? Clearly, I don't do this. Sorry, totally all over the place. So please bear with me, and if you're still watching, God bless you. I hope that you receive whatever God is speaking to you, or if he's using me to speak words into your life, or to encourage you in some way, and to spread some level of sweetness, things in which you can apply to your everyday life to make your life sweeter and the lives of those around you sweeter, then all of this is worth it. And ultimately, that is the reason why I'm here. It's the reason why I am taking the time and recording these series, podcasts, whatever you want to call it. I'm doing it for a purpose that is bigger than me. I don't know what that purpose is. I don't know what the outcome will be, but I do know that I serve a great God who will not let me down. He won't let me fail so long as I stay obedient and faithful to his word and his instructions. And so that's what I'm doing. So let's go back to Mark 12. Maybe this one was the one about the honey. All right, Mark 12 and 33. I can't believe I'm actually physically reading like the actual Bible. I'm not just scrolling through the scripture in my phone. This is something else. Okay, 31. Okay, so Mark, wrong one. 12:33. Let me see. Oh no, this is the right one. Okay, so Mark 12:33 says, to the right one? Yeah. Mark 12:33. Okay, it says to love him with, well, let's just start from the beginning because that just sounds weird to just start with to love him. Okay. 32 says, the man replied, "You are right in saying that God is one and there is no other but him. To love him with all your heart, with all your understanding, and with all your strength, and to love your neighbor, as yourself is more important than all the burnt offerings and sacrifices." Again, we're talking about selfishness and not living a selfish life, not behaving in selfish ways. And so this is just another example of what, would have been saying from the beginning, is that we are God's chosen people, and we were created in his image to love. And that's it. Like that's the main job. He put us here to love and to create. We were created by the creator to create. And we create through love. We create through giving. We create through sacrifice. We create through empathy. We create through obedience. We create through all of these different realms, but ultimately we are creating for the glory and the edification of God. And the only way that we can do that, the vehicle of creation, is love. So when you're feeling like you're being selfish, or you're feeling like you don't seem to really give a hoot about what everybody else got to say or feel, which is, I get it. I'm there all the time. Um, I would challenge you to step back for a minute and ask yourself, am I being selfish in this moment? Or is this a moment for me to be self concerned? Because if it's a moment for you to be self concerned, then it's okay to step away and say, I need a minute. I have to step away. I have to reset. I have to meditate on this. I have to go to God. I have to get further clarity or understanding of this thing before I can react or respond. Or are you just lashing out, spewing all of your everything, making everybody else the blame of all of the stuff that's going on, and you taking no accountability for any of your actions, and then you're requiring someone else to constantly and consistently show up for you, but you are never willing to be the one who shows up for them? I challenge you to find the balance and know when it's okay to do it for you, and know when it is the right time to do it for someone else. We were put here on this earth to give. We were put here on this earth to love. We were put here on this earth to create and to make life better for someone else. We can't make life better for someone else if we are selfish in our actions and in our ways. And that goes with every aspect of life. And I'm literally physically, talking to myself. I mean, I literally am talking to a camera in a room by myself. Um, but internally, I'm speaking to myself because, like I said before, um, I have been one who has lived a very selfish life, and it has sabotaged some very important things in my life: relationships, um, opportunities, finances, you name it. There was a long period of time where I could not consistently grasp the idea of tithing because I need my money. Like, the church is good. Y'all got all the lights on, but I still got bills that I need to pay. So, my little 10%, I need that. And I couldn't understand that I wasn't giving to the church per se. I was giving to a cause. I was giving to a need that was greater than my own. And if I trust God enough, He will supply any of the areas, any of the things that I may fall short in, because I put the needs of the greater good above my own. Once I understood that, it was like a no-brainer. Like, duh, girl, you better tithe, give that 10%. And since I've done that, I can see the difference in, one, my sales. Like, sales numbers. You gave $23 the first time, that means I only made $231. But that was $231. The next time I paid my tithes, I was tithing $231, which means I made over 2,000 that week. So it just goes to show that if you are faithful and if you are diligent, and if you truly, truly are seeking God and allowing Him to use you, and not acting and behaving in ways that are selfish or can even appear to be selfish, that He will literally give you the desires of your heart, and He will open doors that you can't even imagine, and He will love you even still, like, even if you don't do any of these things, God is still going to love you. But just imagine how much sweeter life will be if you do try to apply some of these things. I mean, it don't hurt. Don't hurt to just be a little bit nicer, a little bit kinder, a little bit sweeter. Can't hurt, right? All right. Well, that is my sermon for today. Bible study is over and we are out of here. So thank you again, as always, for joining in and listening to Kia's Daily Dose of Sweetness. I always forget the last part. Kia's Daily Dose of Sweetness. And I look forward to checking in and chatting about whatever it is that God gives me to talk about tomorrow. Until next time, stay sweet and still show up for you, but show up for your neighbor too, boo. Okay, that's a cute one. Bye.